if you look at this word, there should be a word you know, factor. So factorization is just finding the factors. So that's what we're working on tonight, or what are factors and how do I find them? Okay, so let's review really quickly. First, we have two types of numbers, and you should know these, prime and composite. We know that prime is a number that can only be divided by 1 in itself. Okay, so composite are the numbers that are not prime. So we look at composite, these are numbers that have more than 2 factors. They can be divided by more than 2 things evenly. Okay, so a composite number is a number with more than 2 factors. Let's look at an example. A prime number could be 3. Nothing goes into 3 except 1 and itself, which is 3. You can't divide 3 by anything else. Another example could be 13. 13 can only be divided by 1 and 13. Composite, on the other hand, could be 10. 10 can be divided by 5, 2, 1, and 10. So it actually has 4 factors. So that makes it a composite number. So what are factors exactly? Factors are the numbers that can be multiplied to get a number. Okay? So if I asked what are the factors of 20, you would say 2, 10, 1, 20, 4, 5. These are all things that could be multiplied and you would get 20. So they are all things that 20 is divisible by. So those are factors. So then what are prime factors? Well, let's talk about what we know. We know that prime means a number with only 2 factors, and we know we're talking about factors. So we're actually talking about the numbers that go into a certain one. So let's look, this will make much more sense when we see an example. Let's look at 20 again. If I'm looking for the prime factors, a prime factor of 20 would be 2. Okay, because it's prime and it's a factor. Obviously, it would take more than 1 2 to make 20, but we're going to look at that in just a second. So prime factors are factors that are prime, which means they can only have 2 factors, like the number 2. So how do I find these prime factors? We're going to look at an example in just the way we want you guys to practice this, because it's a very simple way to find them. If you'll start with 20 inside a little box, it almost looks like a division symbol, but it's a little box. And we're going to start by saying, okay, what is a prime factor that will go into 20? I love to start with 2 because 2 is easy. I know it's prime. I don't have to think twice about it. And I know 2 goes into 20 10 times. Once I have 10, I'm going to add the little box around it, and I'm going to try again. What number is prime that'll go into 10? I'm going to go with 2 again because, like I said, it's easy and I can divide by 2 quickly. And I get 5. When I get to 5, I realize there are no other factors that are going to go into 5. 5 is a prime number. When I get to 5, I'm at a stopping point because my top number is prime. Nothing else will go into it. So now I have the prime factors. If I look down the side, and we say this looks like a birthday cake. So if I look down the side of the birthday cake, I see prime factors. So it's 2 times 2 times 5. Those 3 prime factors multiplied together would give me 20. 2 times 2 times 5. Can I shorten it? Sometimes they're even longer than this one. But even this one, we can shorten some. Anytime I see 2 times 2, I have 2 of the same number, I can give this 2 and say how many are there? 1, 2. And I can make it an exponent. So 2 to the second power, or 2 squared, times 5 is also the correct answer for the factorization of 20. I can shorten it by combining those 2's together. Okay, so let's look at one more example. Let's do 24, and I'm going to put it in my little box. And I know that a prime factor that goes into 24, I'm going to start with 2 because I like it, that gives me 12. Okay, now I'm going to break down 12. I'm going to go with 2 again, and I get 6. And for 6, I'm going to use 2, and I get 3. Uh-oh, I notice when I get to 3 that it's prime. Nothing goes into 3. So that means I'm at a stopping point. So if I look down the side of the birthday cake, I have all the factors. So what this means is 24 is just like saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So my prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Can I shorten it? Definitely. If you look, I have 2 times 2 times 2, so 3 times. So I could rewrite that 2, and how many times? 3. So 2 to the third power times 3. Don't get too confused by the shortened version. Just know that you can shorten it, and we will talk about exponents in much more detail later. Okay, so 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, or 2 to the third power times 3.